Ladies and gentlemen, man, we got one of the hardest working women in the business right now. Fresh off of dropping a brand new album, The Journey. One time for Teyana Taylor. What up, yo?
Woo! The Journey. What the hell is The Journey?
Top of the joint. Is it The Journey or is it Here? I'm so confused. I apologize.
No, it's the most easiest thing in the world. The album.
The album.
It's literally called The Album?
It's called The Album.
Well, you know what? Slap my face and call me short. Let's do it one more time. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Hustlers, one of the hardest working women in the business. Teyana Taylor's keeping it simple this time around. She has dropped the album called The Album. You know what I mean? She's giving you all those vibes so you can turn up on your post-Juneteenth situation, your pre-Juneteenth situation, and get you through this quarantine. What up, sis?
How you doing, bro?
Yo, feel good, man. Like, you are always such a ball of fun every time you come through. How your mom's doing?
She's good. She's good. Nikki Taylor being Nikki Taylor, you know, she on the ones and twos. Momager, always on point, you know. She made sure I made it to my interview and everything, you know. She pulled up.
From day one, she has
you know,
been.
That's what I'm saying. Nikki Taylor being Nikki Taylor.
Yes, I'll never forget. First time I met you and your mom, it was you had dropped "Google Me, Baby," and you came to DC and performed at a school. And mom had you on point. She had you working. You had the dance move, like
on it.
Was coordinated properly. And that was just for a school, like just to pop up and do your performance.
Right. Right. That's real shit. Like that's Nikki Taylor on the ones and twos.
I feel like you definitely jumping into her footsteps because I see Junie. She's singing on the album. She danced.
You feel me? She's out here. She's out here. Ready.
I feel like she's even blown your spot a few times because she's kind of how the blogs first found out that you were even expecting baby number 2 with the raspberry she gave you and all that, and then said, "Let me kiss the baby."
I'm like, and it's crazy because I was doing so good and we had already shot Wake Up Love. And I think Wake Up Love was coming out in like a week. And I was like, even though I was stuck. I can't make this stuff up, man. Junie is crazy.
Yo, we love seeing her on the gram. And like the cool thing about your whole family dynamic, like, you know, you never pull any punches. Like, so, you know, Angie and Lori, they weren't here when you came through on the last show that I was on. And you told me this awesome story about how your mom beat you because you was outside dancing fast. Can you run that back for us one time?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't tell you I got beat. I got like a little pow, but I ain't
a little pow.
You know.
How were you dancing out there?
No, I got whooping for that. Look, she in the back like, you didn't even get beat. No, I definitely got whooping for that. That was before I think she knew that I was super, super creative genius. I meant well, you know. I wasn't really trying to be fast. I wasn't trying to be fast. You know, I was just expressing myself. You know, I was just dancing and it just came across real crazy. You know what it really was? It was my cousin that I was dancing with that was doing the most. Mm-hmm. And you see, that's how rumors start. It was the cousin that was doing the most, and then it got back to like Teyana and what's the name was outside, and I'm like, whoa. And that's why I was like, I wasn't being fast. You know, I was just dancing with your kids, and you see somebody else doing it. You know, y'all all trying to do the same thing, but it was like, it wasn't even me.
Your creative genius expands from dance to music to directing. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your coming into your own as Spike T, and how that's been in projects down the line for you, because that's really we're starting to see more and more of Spike T out here.
Yes, and actually, I'm nominated for Director of the Year award.
Yep.
For the BET.
Congrats.
That's fire.
So I'm appreciative of that, and you know, I'm excited because directing is something that I always wanted to do, especially, you know, as I got older and in a better place to be able to control my own narrative, you know, and for me to really get my vision across that I personally felt like people couldn't see for me or didn't see what I really saw, you know. So that was important for me. And I grew a love for just kind of being behind the lens and not just necessarily for myself. You know, like I always enjoyed creating for others and helping others. I've always been a super helpful person. So it's like helping people get their visions out. I love that. Like I really, really, really love that.
And you spoke to having more women behind the scenes in those decision-making positions. You spoke to like creating a whole production thing where everybody has women, the women are inputting on every aspect of the project.
It's called the aunties, you know,
Aunties, fire.
And yeah, it's all female bosses, you know. And I think it's really dope because sometimes, well, we'll walk on set and you're like, okay, let's get started, action, and everybody's looking around like, who just yell action? You know what I'm saying? Like just not even expecting it, you know. So we're definitely getting everybody used to this is the new normal. This is what it is. This is what it should have always been, period, you know. But now we're taking a stand even more than anything.
Good.
So this project is fire. Like, let me tell you, we got an advanced copy, so I got to live with it for a couple of days. And you have some legends on there. You done put Missy together with Future on one record. You got Erykah Badu. You got Miss Lauryn Hill on there saying a couple words. How do you feel about this project versus your last project? Because I know you had a little bit of problems towards the end and you wasn't all the way satisfied with the final project on your last album. So are you satisfied with this one here? And do you feel like
absolutely. I just think that I have like my day one fans that like my fans from my 7 album, they just was like, we want longer, you know. So with this album is more completion for me and is more full circle, you know what I'm saying? Like I get to express every single emotion, and that's why if you notice is broken up in different studio rooms. And the studio rooms spell out albums. So you got Studio A, you know, LBUM, you know, and each studio room is a different emotion. So I kind of already like playlisted my album to where songs not catching you off guard, you know, and that's kind of like what happened in KTSE because it was only 7 songs. So it was just like certain songs was catching you off guard because we were trying to put so many different emotions in 7 songs, you know. And now this time you have a 23 record album, and it's like you literally will get everything that you need, you know. And that's all I ever wanted was structure and stability, you know.
And I feel like both you and Iman, if I'm not mistaken, did y'all both cry on this album?
You said, did we both cry on this album?
Y'all both cried on this album because you cried during Still. Because I really like that song Still. You cried during that, and he cried during the intro when Junie was being born.
He did. It took me a very, very long time to create Still. And it's so crazy because if you notice, like records like Still, Made It, and We Got Love, these are all records this was already done before everything that's going on, you know, that has been going on, the time that we're going through right now. And that shows that it don't have to be anything dramatic going on to still feel like we're crying for love. We're crying for real freedom. We're crying for our lives. Like Still is a deep record for me because it's deeper than just saying like, I'm not talking to no guy like, oh, I'm crying for love. Like that's not that. You know, like I'm a Black woman that is crying for my life, for my family, for my people, you know, and we're crying and they're not wiping our tears, you know, and these is a lot of strong, you know, messages in a lot of the records that I put in, which is another reason why I felt like it was dope to drop it on Juneteenth because, you know, of course it's a celebration, you know, it's a celebration. But we still need to continue to raise awareness, you know what I'm saying, and use our platforms to take a stand and do what we need to do because it's like, yeah, this was the day that the slaves were free, but are we really free? Are we really free?
Don't feel like it.
Talk about it.
You know, exactly. So it's just like, I don't want it to be a situation where we're slowly going back to them trying to make us slaves, you know? And it's like, and that's why it's like, I'm not condoning for people to do what they want to do as far as the riots and stuff, but it's like, if y'all don't hear us, then you gonna have to feel us. Period.
One way or
You know
another.
what I'm saying? Because clearly the peace part is not working.
Yeah.
It's not.
Period.
Tupac said something like years ago in an old interview. Is like, when we was knocking quietly, nobody was listening. What we were saying, like, yo, we need help. It's going down out here. But it wasn't until we started busting down doors that people started paying attention. And people have been paying attention to you for a long time, Teyana Taylor. And you've created quite a few iconic moments in a very short period of time. Whether it's like you doing a dance performance, you know what I'm saying, just showing the world like, whoa, people still out there with the dope choreography. And then, for my inner hip hop child, that You Gonna Love Me remix with Wu-Tang. I mean,
you feel me?
Classic.
That's a whole moment right there.
Come on.
And then once again, using your artistry, sis, to reveal that you were expecting a child again, through your music video, people are going to remember that. So, like, when you think back on your history, everything you've done so far, what moment are you most proud of?
I mean, I'm honestly proud of it all. And though, like, I've been through it the worst because my whole career has been put on a front street. I'm at a place in my life where I'm proud that I don't regret any of it. I don't regret any, mistakes or any ups and downs that I've been through, because I feel like people like y'all have been able to watch me grow. My people have been able to watch me grow. And that's why this project is so important for everybody, because you're listening to it like, damn, I remember this girl when she was 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? I remember when she was on skateboards, and now she's a mom and a wife. Like it's the story is amazing, and it also shows people that I'm living proof that patience is key. I'm living proof that you got to keep going. I am living proof that saying is not mediocre. You know what I'm saying? It's not just some shit that people throw out there like, you too can do it. Just never give up. Like, I'm the true definition of never giving up, because people try to bring me down, and I've been through a lot, but I'm still here today and stronger than ever.
When's the last time you skateboarded? You mentioned the skateboarding. We ain't seen you on a skateboard in a long time. Can you still do it?
I know. I don't know. Probably not pregnant.
Well, not pregnant.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't do it in a long time, you'll kind of be a little bit rusty, But I think if you keep pushing, you'll be fine. Like, even with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, like when he came back, he was a little rusty. You know what I'm saying? The first game back, but it was like once he got back in the tempo and got, so I think if I was to like get back into skateboarding, I would start off a little rusty, but I think I'd get back in my groove, because I used to be on that motherfucker. I used to be on that thing.
I noticed. I was going to ask you about the party too, because with COVID, were you a little bit hesitant about throwing a party like that, or did you guys? I know the hazmat suits. Did you guys have to do anything special distancing or temperature taking or anything to make sure people were cool?
We did all that. We went through all the proper precautions. That's what. And those hazmat suits were like cut and sew. Like, we had those all custom made. We had the custom made Teyana mask. It's just, by the time the photographer started taking pictures at that point, some people had their mask off. It was really just a small party of 60 though. It looked crazy, but it was really about 60 people there, and everybody was extremely, safe and kind of giving me, if you notice the pictures with me, they're like giving me my space. Everybody's kind of like in a distance. The house was huge, so it was more than enough space. For sure, for everybody to, kind of be safe. And we kind of did everything like more on the outside area. So it's just air, and we're not just really packed up in these rooms. And even the way I did the album release party, I broke up the rooms that we were in. I broke it up into sections. So Studio B was completely different from Studio A. So we had to keep moving around the house, and it wasn't one set area. Like, it was actually really creative. You had to be there to like really like get into it, but each room matched the vibe of whatever studio room, like whatever the songs were about.
Cardi B was there too. She's not on the album. Do y'all have something in the works together, maybe on her album? Because we know she has some projects coming out, and I know you do collab with a lot of New York artists.
Woman collab every day, B. Just stay tuned.
Okay,
I appreciate you for coming out, and we definitely trying to like work on something like that's special. It got to be perfect though. She can't just throw me on no song, and I can't just throw her on no song. Like, we got to do some dope ass like New York shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Fire,
saying?
right.
That shit gotta really be planned out. You know what I'm saying? And really like that's one of those you gotta do old school sessions. You gotta go in with the artist and y'all we
Right.
both gotta sit down and do that. That ain't no I'm gonna do my verse and I'm gonna send it to you. That ain't that. You know, like I would love to just like sit with her and we're working on that. Trying to
I
figure
can't
out
wait
what
to
it
see
is
if
that
that
we're gonna do.
materializes, yo. That's gonna be for real, for real. Now, Teyana Taylor's in the building with us. The new album is called The Album. It is out right now. Now, this whole quarantine situation, it has fortified some relationships. It has broken some relationships all the way down. Now, with the basketball season being on hold, and Amon's chilling at home or two, you're chilling a little bit more at home too. How's everything going? How's the house dynamic? Who's getting on whose nerves?
I mean, it's crazy. Everything is actually really dope. You got to think about it. When the pandemic was going down super heavy, I just was locked in. We built a studio in my office, and he has a studio in his man cave. So, like, literally, he was finishing up his album. I was locked in on mine. So it was perfect because we was we gave each other space without trying to purposely do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were really just locked in. And then we would meet up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because of course I was cooking, so we meet up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course, nighttime. But it worked out really, really well because that gave us time to lock in. Like I don't even think that I would have like locked in that crazy if the pandemic didn't happen. Like I was really able to have time to sequence my shit, and he gave me the space and room to do that. And vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So it was really a great balance. Like, I mean, the beginning was tough when it first started because I was extremely sick. Like I had like a lot of pregnancy sickness the first 12 weeks. But after I got through like my 6 stages, I was actually fine because when I was sick, I needed a lot of attention. You know what I'm saying? And he was super supportive. So it was just like I think locking into those albums, and now I'm feeling better. I get to move, so I'm not really like we chilling.
And you mentioned cooking. I also heard you're an extremely good cook. I heard you can make a hell of a mac and cheese. Okay. And so also, what's going on with that show that you had with Iman? I really love that show, and especially Petunia and all that good stuff. I still use Petunia.
It was supposed to be coming back, but when COVID hit, all the everything shut down. So really, once everything clears up, then we'll get back to it. But we are indeed coming back.
Did you like the way that you was portrayed on the show as well? Because sometimes it seemed like you was a little bit hard on Iman, a little bit tough on him sometimes.
I mean, the power of editing is definitely, something.
Right.
But most importantly, what I do give the producers is that they always knew that at the end of it, if you notice, when me and Iman would get into it on the show, we always came to a positive solution.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it never ended badly because they knew the importance of, okay, cool, y'all edit how y'all want, but y'all better get down to how we get down. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is because couples are couples. We're all human, and I didn't come on this show to be a perfect patty. I came on the show to show other people that we are human and this is real life. And you can have arguments and get into it without it having to be a breakup or these headlines. Like, it don't have to be that. Like, nigga, I'm going to check you if I feel like, you slacking and vice versa, And I just think they needed to see something real.
Right.
Like I said, they had some editing going on, but for the most part, what you seen is really what it was. Now, was a lot of it chopped down? So you probably couldn't really see how it led there or how it, you know what I'm saying? Like that they chopped stuff down more than they edited to look a certain way. But if we got into it, it's like, yo, it's the VMAs. I'm nominated for a VMA. And you and Junie getting into it about some jelly, it's just like this ain't the day for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's what humans do,
Right.
But I love the fact that they didn't edit out him bringing me those flowers. And him,
that was nice.
You know what I'm saying? Showing that what's more important. Like today is a day of celebration, and today is my moment. The same way, vice versa, when it's your moment, we keep it about you, and we don't let anything get in the way of that. So I love the fact that showed us being completely real, but also showing us being a Black couple that can work things out and not it should always being messy or drama filled. It ain't got to be that, because you ain't seen no drama on our show. You just seen us, be a normal couple.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was real, especially for our young followers as well, to learn when you grow up, like, this is how you handle your partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are going to get into it because it's not going to be roses every single day.
Yeah. Now, what do you tell Junie about the times we live in right now, though? Because, it's very difficult conversations to have. How do you explain COVID? Why is everybody wearing a mask right now? Even like everything that's going on with the, the protests and everything with, racial inequality. What do you say? I mean, difficult conversations have to happen. The same way we have those difficult, uncomfortable conversations about how much we going to pay this person, if they getting paid. You know what I'm saying? There's always some uncomfortable conversations that you have to have. And I think right now is a very important time to spread that knowledge with my daughter, because no matter what age she is, she needs to know now. She's learning the difference between a good person and a bad person. It's about good and bad, love and hate. What I teach my daughter is not about black and white. It's about good or bad, love or hate, love and hate, and she has to learn that early, but she also has to know that she is a Black woman, very much a Black woman, and Junie, as you can see, is already so ahead of her time. I'm not sure if you guys seen the letter that I wrote to her on Instagram, but it's like, she's very ahead of her time, so she see what's going on. I can't sit here and sugarcoat anything for her, because when she see that, now is the time of the kids. They're on these iPads, they're on these phones, and no matter if you put a parent lock on it, whatever, they're going to find their way and see something that they shouldn't be seeing, and then they're going to ask you questions about it. So you have a choice to either tell them the truth or sugarcoat it, and then they're naive. I can't sugarcoat with her. Like, she has to know what's going on now, because at the end of the day, she is Black first, period.
And she's already an entrepreneur thanks to you. She also has a clothing line coming as well. Is that right?
Yes, she do. It's actually already out.
It's already out.
Clothing. Mm-hmm.
That's so dope. I think, like, to start kids off early, get them in the groove of having their own stuff. Would you be upset if she was to come to you in a couple years and say, Mommy, I want to be a singer just like you? Or would you encourage it?
Absolutely not. I mean, honestly, right now, she's heavy on, like, she's self-teaching herself gymnastics, which is crazy. Wow. Like, I got her this gymnastic, but like, I support anything she do. One moment she want to be a drummer, I get her a little mini drum set. She want to do, she want to be an engineer, whatever it is that Junie want to do, I support her and I get it for her, so she could really have the freedom to choose what it is that she want to do. Like, right now, it would look like she's really, like, leading in toward, like, wanting to be into gymnastics and stuff like that, and I support that, So I support everything she do. But Junie she's a jack of all trades, and she really, like, she does it all, and I'm just giving her that freedom to choose whatever it is that she want to do. I always let Junie express herself.
That's why a fire song with Rick Ross. So can't nobody stop her right now, neither.
Right. She's live as kid in elementary right now. So what's going on?
That Sweet 16 gonna be crazy. You gotta top yours. How you gonna do that?
Man, I'm just happy. When I was 16, all I wanted was a bike.
Cool. Well, yo, we give you your flowers right now. I wish we could hand deliver them joints. The album's called The Album. It gets no easier than that. Much love to you, Teyana Taylor, and I can't wait to see the next moment that you create for the fans, yo. One time for the ones and only. She don't be in these streets dancing fast no more. Teyana Taylor.
We are the Morning Hustle.